God has a sense of humor. I ran the McAllen Marathon Sunday, and I noticed that, and as expected, I got lactic acid, problems after like mile 12 in the race, and then I just kept. My management was I'd stop in like 4 times. I stopped into porta potties and relieved myself, and gave me a little bit. I could go a little further. But then the last mile, I just like taken off. I mean, you'd never know. I'm like, I sprinted the last half a mile, passing 3 people. I'm like, I got mad at my body. I'm like, where were you? Like mile, 22 to 25, right? And well, I realized that the adrenaline overrode the lactic acid. So I'm trying to think about how to do this on purpose. I remember in the boxing ring, I always had butterflies, but I knew what those were. That was like excess glucose dumping off of my stomach, and so I knew those horses were getting ready to run. I got excited about that. That was a good thing for me because I knew what was going on. But I remember being after the Panama invasion, bullets missed me by inches, right? Skipping across the asphalt in front of me, snapping right past my head. So I go right to the All Navy boxing team, and I have no butterflies for the first time fighting the All Marine Corps guy, and I just walked right up and cracked him with a left hook, right? But it took until like the middle of the second round for a sense of urgency to kick in, and actually I performed better with the adrenaline. And then I had PTSD, didn't know it. I would get we would do down man drills, doing immediate action drills, and they'd always pick me because I was the smallest guy, and my anxiety level would go through the roof, and it caused me just real issues, and I ended up getting out of the Navy. And guess what? My executive officer who wrote my exit evaluation was Leif Babbitt. I didn't even know the guy, and he gave me a low mark in one category, basically saying that I had kind of lost it. I had lost, being in a support billet for 3 years caused me to, not be as proficient. And I'm like, you don't even know me. How can you write that? There was things going on in that platoon, and but I didn't. I'm just getting out anyways. I didn't care, so I just signed it, right? And then I just listened, Jocko podcast, Leif Babbitt talking about losing his temper, and in Iraq, and have a sense of urgency because guys weren't, he exactly what was happening to me, and this was in 1996 when I got out. It was before Desert Storm. I would love to sit down with Leif Babbitt again. But I'm still looking for the way to turn on the adrenaline on purpose. I'm actually trying to figure out what I can do. I know that when you do, I learned about this heart intelligence, and when you get yourself all juiced up and enthusiastic, and then you in your praise and worship, there's a better effect, and thinking about things that get you excited in the boxing ring, standing in the back of a C-130 at 20,000 feet at night, running up a runway, getting shot at, can recall that, and the day I learned God was real. That was another one, that it gets you excited, right, on purpose. Okay, so, but can you do it in a way that gets your adrenaline to override your lactic acid or your pain or your doubt? That's where I'm going for. But I still, it's just amazing how God put, that video happened to be the one I was watching, talking about losing your cool, and Leif Babbitt was the one talking about it.